Zeidoktor here, and today I'm going to be doing a typical manga review episode on One Piece, chapter 838, Chobro, known in this scanlation as Broper, or Proper. Not sure what the pronunciation on there, but pronunciation is meant to be there, but either way. Our cover page this week is the final volume of the 500 Million Man Decks of the World arc, where we see Shanks at a wedding, attending a wedding at a certain ruined island, holding up just a newspaper which presumably is the wanted posters. The chapter proper begins back in the seducing woods. Luffy has Luffy has Cracker down but not out. He's still in gear 4, bouncing away. He's gonna see Sanji, he declares, and attacks with another Kong gun, but Cracker fires back with the pretzel roll. Luffy just plows through it. Actually, tears Cracker right in two. Fortunately, this doesn't seem to actually do anything, as a smaller person seems to emerge from Cracker's lower half and actually slices Luffy's arm. And one thing I didn't notice until looking at it here, did Cracker always have 4 legs, or is that something he did when he transformed himself? Either way, Luffy's down, he's running who this new guy is, and it turns out this new guy with the piece of hair, with a hair thing sticking out straight out of his head that would make Alfalfa envious. It's still 1,000 arm Cracker, but he's actually the form we've seen up till this point has been just armor. He actually describes himself as having a biscuit man with the power of the bisbis fruit. He can produce and manipulate an infinite number of biscuits. He just crafts the outline with crushed biscuit dust. Just set your mind to it, and look, the face of a hardened warrior. So his armor is basically just a double of himself, like it's just a suit he wears. And it's so effective that not even the government realizes his actual face. It's the armor face that's on the posters. Of course, this also means he can create a whole bunch of those biscuit warriors, and sets them, which he does, and sets them on Luffy, declaring that he will never meet Vinsmoke Sanji again. Luffy declares that he will, and over Cracker's declarations that growth is encountering things that there are no amount of effort can overcome, he just launches a Gum Gum Kong organ gun at the whole little army of Crackers. Now there's a phrase I never thought I would say, army of Crackers. And when I goes, I'll get that later. He charges through. Luffy's actually managing to get hits in, I think, 2 Cracker. It's hard to tell there. Oh no, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. He's getting the attacks, but Cracker's actually attacking through the doubles with a honey pretzel. It's seems to be a last stab attack. Meanwhile, out nearby, the seducing wood creatures are too overwhelmed by Cracker and Straw had to go anywhere near them, but apparently Nami is actually forcing them to. Hundreds of you could stroll up and wither away, and it wouldn't affect me in the slightest. Cracker the General or his mother, Big Mom, which one's scarier? They all unanimously declare that Nami is indeed the scariest of them all. Elsewhere in Brulee's mirror world, Chopper's got an idea. He's got a great idea, so from now on, Carrot is to call him Big Bro Chopper. Carrot agrees and asks Chobro what the great idea is. Chobro points out that it seems that the world within the mirror is actually connected to all the mirrors of Whole Cake Island. So rather than try to escape, they should be trying to use Brulee power to help them. And something I hadn't noticed until just now is that they've actually got bolts and chains on their legs, which I guess is meant to prevent them from doing exactly that. And then elsewhere in Sweet City, the capital of Whole Cake Island, Brook and Pedro are actually hidden inside of a biscuit warrior who's moving around because of Big Mom. So they're gonna go and wait for it to go into storage be stored at the castle, and then pop out and do their thing. Then we'd suddenly just cut to the next morning entirely at Whole Cake Chateau, Big Mom's castle. Big Mom is going over her schedule. Or being told her schedule. It's the meeting with the Vinsmoke family at the castle, followed by the exchange of gifts. She's more concerned about whether the wedding cake is ready yet, and that will be tomorrow. And Big Mom is it's been a whole night now. What are those mold spores up to? This is their final chance to make contact with their pal. And we realize at this point that the person speaking to Big Mom is actually her hat. It's not only expressive, it's vocal. And her hat is assuring her that she sent Cracker after them, And once Blackleg and Sanji enters the castle, their chances of contact are pretty much zero. After all, the tea party and the wedding ceremony will be held there within the castle. Big Mom almost seems disappointed, like wondering if they're all talk, just like the others. She almost seems disappointed at that. And they've got to get all the Vinsmoke sons together anyway, and they've just landed in port, and so we're seeing everybody kind of all the Vinsmokes in one big splash panel here. Judge is declaring that at last his beloved sons are home. Reiju isn't really reacting, but Yonji's like, I can't wait to see them face off with Sanji, who is currently shaking in his boots, like almost literally. He's actually he's generally shivering here. The second brother is Niji, is annoyed because apparently he isn't there to greet them. Of course, the oldest one, Ichiji's like, oh, just give it a rest, will ya? And we have that at the end of the chapter, and we have the declaration that One Piece will be off next week. And while I'm on this final page, I do want to note one thing I only just noticed, like while kind of giving it a reread to get ready for this. It just seemed to me that it seems like Sanji's eyebrows curl in exactly the opposite direction of all the other people that we're seeing on panel right now. Assuming that like Sanji and Yonji, everyone's like curls the same way. Though now I'm looking at it closely, Reiju might not. But either way, all the other Vinsmoke children, if not Judge himself, have curly brows going like to their left, but Sanji's goes to his right. Yeah, it's a little interesting designing, especially considering he's the white sheep of the family. And another thing I was thinking about noticing here is where was it? Here. One thing I thought about as well is like the fact that this is a biscuit soldier. I wonder if that would mean it was made by that broken Pedro hiding, and could that possibly mean it was made by Cracker? And if Cracker loses or if something happens to him in the course of the night, what's going to happen to those two? It's hard to say. Saw a lot of people here on boards and stuff noticing it took them a while to realize Big Mom was actually talking to her hat in that one scene, which is actually kind of a fun thing to note there. Like, she just creates her friends all over the place, doesn't she? And with Biscuit, like I said, a lot of comparisons have been made from him to the Baratier enemy Pearl, which was basically like he has big tough armor that's hard to get past, but the moment he actually takes a lick of pain, like he just goes crazy. So that's one thing that some people are wondering if maybe like just actually getting a solid hit on Cracker directly is going to be the key to winning. Since if he hates pain to that degree, then one shot might well be enough to bring him down. Alternatively, I had the random thought that since this stuff is made of biscuits or food, no matter how hard he can make it with Haki and such, maybe the key is just simply to eat them. I can just imagine Luffy doing that. And then just maybe rolling over Cracker or something. And Nami I like the fact that Nami is apparently using her possession of the Vivre card to just order Big Mom's homies around. It's like, and proving herself even more frightening than everybody else in the process. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. That's like very Nami. And don't know what's going to come up yet with Chopper and Carrot, but they've got themselves set up to maybe, most likely, I think, contact Sanji, or possibly even lead Pedro and Brook through the castle. There's a couple different ways that could go. One thing that kind of struck me the most, especially even on the initial read of this, when I was with just scanlations on Thursday, because I'm using the Viz version now, is that Big Mom almost seems disappointed in them, that Sanji, that the Straw Hats didn't get further than they did. I mean, we know that none of the other ones, except for Orochi, made any progress, but at the same time, like, it almost sounds like maybe because he challenged her so directly, she was hoping for more. So, those are the observations and everything I had to make for this chapter. Like I said, there's some interesting stuff going around here, some nice little theory fodder to go around. I'm thinking next week we'll probably see Sanji's reaction to his brothers, maybe get an idea of how powerful he is in relation to them, assuming emotional trauma doesn't get in the way of things a bit. We definitely need to see how the fight with Cracker turned out, because we literally just skipped the end of that. So, like, we just went somewhere else entirely. Like, we just cut the scenes out entirely on that. But guess we'll see about that. Like, that's just a matter of probably building up some tension, like what actually happened in the course of that battle, and how's it going to affect what's going to come up later. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and called a review here. That's been my review of One Piece Chapter 838, Chobro. And in news for, and with that done, let me just give you a little bit of news of what's going to be coming up later on the channel. There is a new chapter about Kame got killed, though that's going to depend on when typical manga fan and I can get together and actually do a review for it, since that's one of the monthlies that we're going to still try and get to doing. Inside Mari should be coming out this week as well, and that'll probably be the final chapter from all indications. We also recently, middle of last month, we also finally finished playing Undertale, so I've kind of been a little bit lazy about it, but I'm going to get videos up and running on there and get them going on the game content schedule. About 3 a week or so until we get through the end. We did the pacifist run. And yeah, I think that's about everything there for now. In the meantime, like I said, the reviews for myself will continue like normal. Next week, there's no One Piece next week. We'll still have Academia at the very least. And I might, I don't know, since it's just me and I can kind of do them whenever, I might throw a little bit extra on here. I've got a couple of ideas. And at the very least, I'm thinking of maybe the Promised Neverland. So I might do that maybe like a few chapters at a time, because that's kind of a slow goer. But that's for the future. For now, I'm going to go ahead and just wish everyone a happy Labor Day, because I'm recording this on September 5th. And goodbye, everybody.